armed men who burst into their home just 15 miles from Abuja city center. According to the family, attackers killed one sister, 21-year-old Nabiha Al-Qadiria, when a ransom deadline passed. Take a listen to the Nigerian police spokesperson.
They all reside in Buhari, and I want to say possibly many of them have planted themselves in various communities across the Federal Capital Territory. So I want to urge our landlords, landladies, community leaders, estate managers to always take note of those we want to adopt into our various communities. Don't jump at them as a landlord that you have seen tenants. I want us to adopt this method now in the Federal Capital Territory of profiling whoever that wants to rent any facility, any property from us. Always work with the police, work with other security agencies, particularly the DSS. We have certain information about some of these people. If they come around, they want to rent any apartment, any facility from you, please contact us for adequate profiling. It's that time we started doing this in the Federal Capital Territory and by extension in all our communities across the country. The same special interventions called launched by the Inspector General of Police on 29th of December 2023 in Plateau State is active, and that's why we are going after all these elements one after the other.
As a spokesperson of the Nigerian Police Force, Muyiwa Adejobi, yesterday. Well, 2 days ago, the Minister of the Federal Capital, Nyesom Wike, says arrests have been made of some suspect or persons in connection with feeding bandits with information in the area. The minister says this during a town hall meeting which he had with the Gwagwalada Area Council Chairman, traditional rulers, security operatives, and residents of Gwagwalada Area Council in the area. Though it did not say the number of persons arrested or where the arrest was made, he assured residents of the Gwagwalada area not to panic, as there will be improvement in the security situation in the FCT in the coming days. This is Nyesom Wike, the Minister of the FCT.
We are very, very serious. We are very, very serious. All those criminals, bandits, enough is enough. We will do everything within our powers to make sure that we will not allow this to happen again. These bandits were chased away from the northeast, so they are making their way down. We'll make it hot for them. We have to stop this idea of going to radio to say we are ready to raise money. When you do that, these criminals are happy. Right? They're happy. Oh, people are concerned. People want to raise money. No. I know it's painful that your wife, your children, your husband is being kidnapped. All we want is to stop it, not to encourage it.
Nyesom Wike, FCT Minister. Well, let's get some more insights into these issues. I have joining me virtually the Senator representing the FCT, Senator Edo Kingibe, joins us virtually live. Now, thank you so much, Senator, for joining us. Not perhaps not a good day for a lot of citizens in and residents of the FCT, but as a Senator representing them, what do we know now? How do you appraise this situation? How did things get this bad?
Good evening, Sean. From my assessment and the way I've seen it, it's been building up for a while. I remember a few months ago, I drew the attention of when the minister came for appropriation, I drew his attention to the fact that security is a priority. And I have been saying that for a long time. It started off with the people in Mpape being unable to sleep, KT all over the place. Some months back, the girl that was thrown out of a taxi from One Chance that eventually died. All these things I drew his attention to, but nothing was done until it got to the point where we are now. And I must commend the security agencies for doing something when we started to scream. But the truth is, a little bit earlier, I tried to draw their attention, and I was told that it was exaggerated. And I said it couldn't be, because what I'm telling them, I did not get from social media, I got from my constituents. But I'm glad that everybody, we are now all seem to be on the same page. We're trying to take it all seriously, but a lot more needs to be done. Catching the kidnappers is just the symptoms. We need to get to the root cause of what is causing all of this insecurity.
No, I mean, it bothers the mind, especially tonight, as the family of Nabiha and several people also who have lost people, or who have their family members, brothers, sister in the kidnappers' den, who thought they're living in perhaps the most fortified place in Nigeria, have had their family members abducted. Hearing now that this is in fact not a new scenario that is playing out in Abuja, in Maitama, in the city center, in Wuse area, in Utako area of Abuja. This has been happening for over 6 months, and people have been saying it. Now, it bothers the mind if the senator representing the FCT has raised this issue before and nothing was done and wasn't taken seriously, not until when things escalated. What does this mean anyways?
I even took it up at the highest echelon of government, because I know that these things are really happening. I have lived in the FCT since 1988, and I can see how insecure it's become. But there are certain issues we need to address. Things like unemployment, empowerment, abandoned buildings all over the place, shanty towns coming up. And the solution to the shanty towns is not just demolishing them, because as soon as you demolish them, they crop up again somewhere else. We need, when we demolish them, to create some sort of viable alternative. Otherwise, the people must find somewhere to live, no matter how poor they are. They will make some other place a shanty town. Mpape, for months, they've been complaining about insecurity. Keti around Lugbe, all those places, and I can go on and on and on. But I must say, part of the problem we are having, there's a big disconnect between the minister of the FCT and the elected officials. And I'll be specific, the House of Rep member and myself. The truth of the matter is that the minister is new to the territory. We are the ones who have historical knowledge of the whole area. And it is imperative that we work together. If we don't work together, that's what is happening is exactly
Senator, apologies. Does the minister listen to you as a senator? The politically elected person to represent, does he listen to you?
I've never met the minister except when he came for appropriation. I have reached out to him several times. The minister, for some reason, thinks Senator Abuja is still the senator of the FCT. Unfortunately, that's not the case. So since I was prepared that when I go back this time, I'm going to bombard the minister with letters, since obviously just talking to him on the phone, sending messages, I have WhatsApp messages, everything I've sent to him, I've written him 1 or 2 letters, I don't get a response. And this is, FCT is not, I'm the highest elected official in the FCT, accountable to the people of FCT. And therefore, the person they bring their complaints to, and the person I have to convey, he is the Chief Security Officer of the Federal Territory. And therefore, the person in charge of security, and must account to the people and me as to why these things are not being resolved. I've also tried to sit with the security agency separately to ask what the issues are. Are they properly funded? They said, yes, they are, and that they don't lack anything, but that the kidnappings are not true. But we are seeing, and I've said that they are true. And now that the whole territory is screaming insecurity, 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 they can see that I wasn't exaggerating and I was just not trying to harass them for no reason.
So it's not a case of that we do not know. It's a case that you are the warned, but nobody listened. You are hinted that this is happening, but authorities turned a blind eye to whatever was going on. That's sad, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is. I don't know what the problem is. I think the minister of the FCT is coming from a different structure of a state where things are different. Other places, there are 3 senators and there is a governor. But here, it's not that way. There's no governor. I am the person that the people will come to with their complaints. Everybody has been at me at how I'm not doing anything about the insecurity, forgetting that it's the minister who will do something about the insecurity. And the minister, as far as he's concerned, there are no elected members in the FCT.
Well, I mean, it would be good because they trust the Nigerian people having elected officials in a political office holder is for them to be accountable to them. And when that trust is breached or broken, there is a sad, sad feeling in the minds of people. And this kind of disconnect does one thing, it breaks down the society. But let's look at it and let's hoping that we'll find a solution. A lasting one. With what is happening, what in your own view, Senator, do you think is the root cause? Suddenly, FCT has become insecure.
Well, I think we should tackle it from many, many angles. For one thing, I think there should be, and I believe that it was the military that chased the kidnappers to the point of getting hold of them and handing to the police. Now, the military's primary job is not really policing. It should be that of the police. I think that the borders coming into the FCT Nasarawa, FCT Kaduna, FCT Niger, we need to have better monitoring of those borders, because that's how come the miscreants and the terrorists and the bandits come from all those places, number one. Number two, we need also IDP camps that are located in the city center. IDP camps should be deliberate places built with perimeter fence and accesses. And therefore, we need to look at that as a major way, because I've been told that lots of times the miscreants, they run into the camps, and it's difficult to follow because you know how the camps are. Secondly, there are so many with the poverty level, so many unemployed young people who will obviously fall prey to these, to being terrorists and bandits. So we need to look at empowerment programs for young people. We also need to look at shanty towns. You know them. They are scattered all over the FCT. Just demolishing them is not good enough. Then the other thing we need to look at, the police. A lot of, I would say without exaggerating, that maybe a quarter of the police force are guarding VIP, which is not their primary function. They are supposed to be enforcing law and order. So we need to look at how, I think there's a special protection unit. I've only occasionally seen some of them. And we also need to look at the agro rangers who are supposed to be there, but I've never seen any of them. They are part of the NSDC. So there are all these arms of the security agencies. We need to see how they can be optimized, because right now, a lot of police people are guarding VIPs. They're not unavailable for community work and policing the streets of Abuja. If in places like Dede, even Mararaba, all those, how many policemen are there?
Well, let's look at Senator. Yeah, yes. If you hear most of the cases of people that have experienced ritual-related kidnap in the city of Abuja, those who are returning from work or going to work in the morning, and these are a lot of the time within the city center, and these are done through transportation, public transportation within the city. That is also a major worry for a lot of people who are low-income earners and who think that their lives are under threat?
Mm-hmm. So for those, we need more community policing. And as I said, we need more security within, and not the usual checkpoints that they dismantle by 10 o'clock, the checkpoints are off. We need them within the community. We also need to have a mechanism where people can give information to the security agencies anonymously, because a lot of them know things but are afraid to come and tell you what's happening in their community. There has to be a way for that to happen. So those I do understand that the public transportation is, because we also don't have a proper transportation system, you cannot actually even police them the way they should. So we have to approach it from many, many prongs. So,
Senator, would you say that there is now a huge influx of, with the benefit of lack of better word, aliens who have invaded Abuja, or those people with suspicious character that have invaded Abuja?
Well, when you say aliens, you mean that they've come from other parts of Nigeria?
Because, one of the things that we heard is that some of the attackers in some part of those, the areas you said, the military have chased them and they are coming into Abuja. Some of them, some of those who have experienced these attacks will say, some of these guys don't look like they are Nigerians. They don't speak languages that are, that are known to the Nigerian territory. So, and that's why I'm using the word, or borrowed the word, aliens. And I'm saying maybe there's some suspicious characters, because some of those who have been kidnapped before had said, they've described how these kidnappers look. And ordinarily, when they get into the city, they should be suspected because of their looks and the manner in which they appear.
Well, you can't really stop people from coming in, but you can actually police the access places like the bus depots, the entrances into the city. Even I doubt very much that they use trains, but all the accesses can be better policed. And that also, we need ID cards of some kind. People need to be identified. And that's why, okay, people will say NIN has been infiltrated, but having a national identity card for all Nigerians that you can show who are you and where are you going to would also help. We've all been registering, but very few people actually have the identity cards. So these are some of the things that will assist us. And that's why I'm saying that we have to deal with the underlying causes as well as the symptoms.
So, but in this sense, I will imagine that you must have had it up to here with what is going on right now in the AFCT. Are you provoked to the point that you get back to your colleagues in the Senate to say there must be some policies, there must be some motion, there must be some laws that will help to tackle these menace in the FCT? Are you thinking of proposing a bill or a motion to defend the people of the FCT whom you represent in the National Assembly?
Well, we do have laws. The problem is implementing the laws. And I doubt very much that when you can barely get 20,000 naira from a bank, that you are able to give a bandit 10 million in cash. So how are they getting the money? There must be stricter financial controls. There must be stricter tracking of the money. So all of this still boils down to the security agencies. Yes. Also, when the Senate resumes, I plan that the FCT committee, specifically me, needs to sit with the two ministers and the security agencies for them to give us and tell me what is the plan for protecting my constituents. It's not just enough. Now they know that the threat is real. So what is the way forward?
So you are hoping that the minister should be summoned when you return to the Senate?
Yes, I know that. Oh, no, it's not I'm hoping. I know he will be summoned. Whether he responds or not is a different matter. But that he should, as the chief of security officer of FCT, he should have a plan. He should be able to tell us, the committee, and specifically me, this is the plan for protecting the people of the FCT. And between him, the police commissioner, the DSS, the head of the DSS, they must have a plan. DSS is for intelligence gathering. So they should know a lot more of what is going on, at least underground, if they're doing their job properly.
If you look at it,
these are some of the things that I want them to tell us.
The indigenous people in Buhari, in Karo, in what you will tag the satellite communities of Abuja, the locals, the people, the indigenous people of the FCT, they will be worried by now because they are the ones bearing most of the brunt, because the escape of some of these kidnappers are through these communities. Some of those who are being kidnapped, majority of them are in this community. They are living in this community. Are you thinking of a multi-stakeholders involvement, the traditional rulers, the indigenous people of the FCT, and how do you hope to engage them?
Well, first of all, we need to have a separate town hall meeting from the one the minister had, but this one an interactive session. Number one. Number two, the truth is that because of the influx of people into Abuja, Abuja is the fastest growing city in Africa. So all these suburbs that you're talking about, the Gwagwalada, the Buhari, the Kuje, actually, they have more, if not as many, residents, the influx, they go to those places. So it's not just the indigenous people. It used to be, but now they're almost more aliens, as you would call them. I call them the residents of FCT, everybody. There are a lot of them in those places. They cannot afford to stay in the Maitamas and the Asokoro. So they stay in these satellite towns. So an interactive session. As soon as I return, we're going to have two sets of town hall meetings, one in Abuja South and the other one in Abuja North, interactively, because that's what I did when I first became a senator, is listen to people, the traditional rulers, everybody, to say, what are your problems? What do you want to see done this next 4 years? And the interactive session is where we're going to get to the root of what's going on in your community.
Yeah, beyond that is also that, I mean, since you're representing the FCT in the National Assembly, there are those who are worried that there was a very popular project in the FCT, the CCTV cameras.
Yes,
Nigeria spent millions of naira in installing this CCTV. Part of it is supposed to be security. Part of it is supposed to be monitoring what goes on in the FCT. Would you, for example, be raising a motion for Nigerians to know the real cost of how these CCTV cameras disappeared, those who got the contract, how the contracts become more or less an evasive contract, that we cannot see some to the point that the city has now become so insecure and now we're running helter-skelter. Are you thinking of raising this CCTV matter up when you return?
Yes, I am. I actually spoke several months back. I called for the contractors and they came to see me. They explained that the contract was 400 million from the Chinese government and 70 million from the Nigerian government. And they installed the CCTV cameras and they were working well. So I asked him what the problem was. He said the problem was that after they were installed, they need to be, the example he gave me is if I buy a car and they've done everything, they give me the car, they cannot be the one to be fueling the car and driving the car. You take it over. So when they handed it to us, we didn't have anybody to operate it. We didn't make any provisions for anything. That they operated it for a little bit and then they left it for us. But I also asked them the way forward. They explained to me also that the cameras that have been vandalized and damaged, they're actually the cheaper component of the whole thing, that the back end is the more expensive one, and that is still there. So I was hoping that when the minister comes, we would sit down and see how some sort of surveillance.
Senator, if I may ask, and I plead that if these guys are telling you these stories, can they allow the media to see the back end they are talking about? Can we see in evidence of some of these things they are talking about for the Nigerian people? Because if Nigeria spend, you talked about the figure, but I was asking, this is in dollars, not naira, for a lot of Nigerians who are watching.
It is in dollars.
400 million US dollars. And 400 million US dollars today will be about 40 billion naira, isn't it? I imagine, my mathematics is not very good, but then I imagine that when it comes to money, my hand calculates better.
Yes. No, when we come, I didn't ask to see it at the time because I probably thought, okay, some sort of a security equipment. But obviously, the stage we're in now, there needs to be more accountability on everybody's part. And as the senator representing this territory, I'm going to insist on it. The committee on FCT is going to insist on it. And we will demand to see some of the things they're talking about and to know just how much will get these streets.
Senator, perhaps my final question tonight on the state of things in the FCT will be the way and manner some governors have gone in securing their territory, using local policing and local initiatives. Perhaps some coordinated vigilante and local policing method. Are you thinking in that direction?
Yes, I am. Just before I traveled last week, I checked. They had vigilante groups. In fact, they're really properly organized. And I think that the way to go is monitoring the communities by vigilante and local policing. I will have to see how that will work. Obviously, they'll have to work in tandem with the police and the other security agencies.
Senator Ireti Kingibe, we'll be hoping and looking forward to you helping us put shedding light on some of this CCTV, your relationship and that of the elected officers in the FCT with the minister of the FCT for the benefit of the people living and from the FCT. If the essence of putting people in political office is for the good of the people, then everyone needs to be accountable. We want to see that synergy, and we are hoping and looking forward to that. Senator, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Sean, for having me on your program.
Ireti Kingibe, Senator representing the FCT. Thank you so much indeed for your time tonight. Well, this is my own one penny in this matter. In times of darkness, let us not succumb to fear, but rather unite in the pursuit of a safer, more secure Abuja, where our citizens can live without the looming specter of insecurity. Together we can forge a path towards a future where safety is not just a privilege, but a fundamental right for all. And this can only happen when those who are in office rise up to their duties and do the right thing. We take a break, everyone, and when we return, our attention will be on the politics of Edo State. Well, the jostle for the ticket of the APC is getting more and more intense. Drama unfolding. They've come down to 4 aspirants. This is the initiative by the Honorable Nyonvere Committee. It's causing disaffection in the party. One of the aspirants, screening out, Kasim Afegua, who will be speaking to us tonight on the program. Join us again, everyone.
and Cable.
At Philomath University, Abuja, we achieved giant strides, impacted lives, strengthened partnerships, and delivered world-class education to our students. As we surge ahead on our mission to transform education in Africa, we are enthusiastic and adrenalized for the future, as we know you are also.
Philomath University. Unlock your dreams.
Labour Party, Oludi, Labour Party, Oludi, Labour Party, who's your guy? Now Olumide Akpata, Oludi, see us we dey like beans and rice. Labour Party, I will never leave your side. I will never ever. I dedicate my time forever, time to you, my people. Even if the road is rough, I know mine. Cause together we shall stand. Oludi, Labour Party, who's your guy? Now Olumide Akpata. See us we dey like beans and rice. Cause together we shall stand.
Have you heard that you can now print glossy, high-quality, 7 pages, A2 size wall calendars for just 120,000 naira only, and A3 size for just 60,000 naira only, and it will be produced and delivered to anywhere of your choice in Nigeria within 96 hours, without even having to leave your room. Listen, this is how it works. Just open WhatsApp, send your pictures and other content, and you will receive your custom design online for your approval within 24 hours. What are you waiting for? Call our hotline for more details on 0913-156-5016, 0812-794-9323, or 0815-508-8279, or visit our social media pages. Cast Prints, digital printing at super speed.
You're heading home from work. In the busy traffic, your car breaks down. Car horns blast. Your car is pushed aside. You call for help. Phone battery blinks and dies. You take a cab. Few miles, tire bursts. What a day. Frustrated, sweating, and tired. Nearing home, darkness envelops the street. Wow! Just one house is bubbling with life. Brilliant lights, loud music, smiling wife, all welcome you.
We alone have light?
Yes, it's JRB Solar Energy Systems, my anniversary present to us.
No matter how dark life is, the sun is gonna shine on everything you do. JRB solar inverters, batteries, solar panels, solar street lights, and more. Telephone 0906-752-1111. Email sales@jrbsolar.com. JRB, the sun is gonna shine on everything you do.
Wires and Cable.
My name is Chuk Sonyepore. I'm studying business management at Miva Open University.
My name is Oluwaseyi John. I'm studying public policy and administration. I chose MIVA for 2 reasons. Number 1, flexibility.
They gave me the opportunity of studying at my own pace.
Number 2 is unique. I love the quality MIVA is projecting out there.
I love everything about MIVA. This is a school that the tuition fee is quite affordable.
I was able to pay my tuition twice. There was no cost form fee, there was no handout fee, there was no all this extra order fee, which makes it very affordable for me.
I recommend MIVA Open University to students out there that are seeking university education.
Because of flexibility, quality, and affordability.
Mama, thank you for this, your delicious food. But the only thing missing now is better meat.
For this Tinubu government,
Things are just getting worse.
subsidy is removed. Hardship choke everywhere.
I know it doesn't look like it now, but things will definitely get better.
Not till we die.
God forbid. The removal of subsidy is actually for the best. Thank you, ma.
I'm get scared that talk, you no follow at all.
Ma, Mr. President has great plans. The money for subsidy is being channeled towards social amenities. Refineries are being revamped. Salaries are being reviewed upwards. Roads are being constructed. Small businesses will be given more funding. Security architecture being improved on. Food and fertilizer will be disbursed to farmers.
But them say...
Forget all of that, Papa. When you plant a seed, you give it time to bear fruit before harvest. Have you noticed so?
Yes, sir.
So, Papa, let's also give the president time for his economic strategies to germinate, because our renewed hope is here.
Fellow Nigerians, keep believing in the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This message is brought to you by Engineer Mohammed Awal Ibrahim.
Welcome back, everyone. In the unfolding drama within the APC in Edo State and ahead of the governorship race, the screening process led by the Honorable Julius Ihonvere has culminated in the unveiling of a final 4 names on the list featuring 4 aspirants, which of course I will be showing you who they are, the 4 persons. While the screening committee, through a process they say is meticulous and thorough, aimed to ensure the emergence of the most qualified candidate, it has sparked mixed reactions amongst the aspirants. Some contenders expressed their discontent, citing concerns of fairness and injustice. The stakes are undeniably high as the political landscape in Edo takes shape, leaving us all eagerly anticipating the next chapter in this electoral journey. So you see, they've cut down from about 29 to an initial 10, then to 4. And these are the 4 that Honorable Julius Ihonvere led committee is screening the aspirants. Tonight, I'm being joined by one of the aspirants, not in that list, the one that was screened out. He was in the initial 10, but he couldn't make it to the final cut. Former Commissioner for Information in Edo State, Prince Kasim Afegbua. Thank you so much indeed.
It's a pleasure.
Appreciate it.
It's a pleasure.
You didn't make the final cut. Because you had dreams, I've seen your write-ups, I've seen you speaking about your ambition. You had thought that you will be the next governor of Edo State. But that dream has been shattered now.
Well, it's okay. That's democracy for you. Because you have desire, you have aspiration. When you are joining the fray to contest election, you have 2 things in your mind. You either lose or you win. And in the process of securing the ticket of a party, you also have to bear in mind that if it is not you, it must be someone else. So 29 of us.
Initially,
the leader of the party in the state felt that that was quite too high. If we're going to be buying the nomination form of 50 million, that would be in the region of 1.450 billion, kind of. And so it could be meeting.
It's a good money for your party, isn't it?
But you need this money more in the state, not necessarily at the party headquarters. A meeting was called, of all the aspirants. We debated it, we discussed it, and all of that, and we came to the conclusion that a committee should be set up by the leadership, which will be given the responsibility to prune down the figure.
This is an initiative of the state chapter of Edo.
The leaders,
APC.
State chapter of Edo. The leaders of the party in the state, the leaders.
Isn't that in itself a problem?
How?
the duty of the primary, governorship primary, is that of the headquarters of the party, not at the state level.
The headquarters cannot work in isolation. The party is domiciled at the state level. That is where you have wards. Wards are not captured in the
But I'm saying the prerogative as known to law for primary and the conduct of it is by the national body of the party.
That responsibility has not been taken away from them.
The processes of it is supposed to be.
No. You are not getting the explanation. You see, the responsibility is still within the purview of national headquarters. The primary has not been conducted. The role that the leadership played in the state is essentially advisory in this sense, to help mitigate undue rancor and also undue waste of resources, such that at the end of the day we also have counterproductive effect on the party when the real proper campaign starts. If you are going to be spending 1.4 billion naira to buy forms of all the 29 aspirants, you are empowering the center here. At the end of the day, only one individual will emerge in that process. So the leadership felt that rather than, invest that kind of money in the primary process that will produce only one person, we can as well bring down the figure of 29 to a manageable size that will also save money. Because when you win as a candidate, you also need the support of other persons. The 50 million they will have invested in going to buy form, they can invest it in the campaign.
So, Mr. Febua, get me right. Yeah. And I'm talking about processes now. These are one of the major things that we are lacking in this part of the world when we mix up the standards for processes. By law, the national body of a party is responsible for conducting a primary. Just a moment. What the Julius Ihonvere committee has done is largely helping the national body of the party to conduct part of the primary, because you have helped them to prune down the number that will now eventually go for the primary. It's the process of the primary.
You see, the state has prerogative to say these are the number of aspirants that are contested.
Under the APC law or under the electoral law?
No, wait. The national leadership will play its role as the body that will conduct primaries in the state. Primary has not been conducted.
But this is part of it.
No. This is not
part of it.
No. You are getting the explanation wrong. You see,
you are the one that is explaining it.
No.
Because Nigerians need to understand
listen,
that these four people, just for a moment, these four people, and I don't want my viewers to get it mixed up and confused.
Yeah.
These four people will be the one that will be allowed to obtain the forms. Is that right?
Not just. We have seen other persons who say they want to collect the forms.
So that screening is not binding. The outcome of the screening is not binding on the members of the party.
You see, I use a particular word. I say advisory. It's in our own interest to save money, to help the party in the state. If 29 persons are coming to just for tickets, only one person is expected to emerge. You see, the process of primary will come, and that will be conducted by the national headquarters. That responsibility has not been taken away from them. They have the right to conduct the primaries based on those who would buy. If you feel that you want to still go ahead, when the leadership of the party in the state have advised that this will be tidier for us to bring down the number to a manageable size for us so that we can save costs, and you still want to go ahead, like some other persons have said they want to go ahead.
Because let me just ask a quick question.
Yeah.
So the outcome is not binding on the members of the party. After the screening, you still can go ahead and obtain the form.
Some persons have said that. That's okay.
All right. So in this sense, what was the process? What is the criteria? Because you participated in it.
Yeah. You see, we had a meeting, all of us, and we subscribed to that. We subscribed to that committee.
Did all the aspirants agree to that?
Agreed to that committee, yes. And Ihonvere became the chairman plus 5 other persons, 2 drawn from each of the senatorial districts for balancing. Ihonvere was the chairman. And they were given terms of reference. When we got there, they would ask you questions about your performance in the last election. If you are contesting for governor, you should be able to deliver your polling unit in the last election. You should be able to deliver your ward or perhaps your local government, depending. And so each of these carries a particular grade. You have to look at your finances, if you are strong enough financially to also embark on this journey, and also look at your academic qualifications and what have you. Don't forget, in the final analysis, the National Headquarters will still set up a screening committee as provided for in their own timetable that will screen those aspirants that will have been that will have voted
screened by the very committee.
Yeah. The party will screen those ones properly. So the whole essence of the Honorary Committee is to come up with a manageable size. You see, people are getting it wrong, thinking that maybe this is to deny people their own right to contest.
Because let me tell you something. Yeah. There are very prominent people in your party in Edo State who wants a ticket of your party. Now they have been screened out. They are out of the 4. If my producers can bring back the names of those who are out of these names, are the former governorship candidate of your party, Pastor Osage Izeyamu. He's a former minister, Clem Agba. A part of those who are screened out is a sitting member of the House of Reps, Honorable Anamero Dekeri. Part of those who are screened out is General Ayavere. And these are very prominent members of your party.
Let me ask you.
And there are those who will want that. I mean, those who will be asking the question, if you say performance, what you have done for your party, on what criteria were these people screened out?
No, wait. Cheung, all of these persons, are they all going to appear as candidates of the party? They are just aspirants. Only one person will emerge.
You know the allegations coming up.
No, please.
It's the fact that there are those who think that this committee is actually brought together to scheme some set of people out.
You see, let me tell you, Sheung, I have run political party before. I even rose to the position of acting national chairman of the party, National Democratic Party. You see, when people talk about primaries and political party management, there's what they call internal mechanism for even consensus building. It's permissible within the ambits of democracy. Nobody can take that away. But in doing that, it is not total. So when you do things of this nature to bring down a number from 29 to a manageable size, and the party decides that, okay, this is better for us so that we can save costs and also save for the rainy day, because the re-election is the real challenge. Then some persons will say, oh no, they have been screened out, they have not been given right to exercise their franchise and all of that. Even when they enter the race, they will still end up not getting the ticket. Because the preponderance of opinion, please let me learn.
Yeah,
the preponderance of opinion will be on the side of what the decision that the leadership has taken. Like for me, I thought I was going to be the candidate of the party, given my name recognition, given the fact that I've invested so much in politics, given the fact that I've been active out there, I have a lot of fans, followers, and all of that. But when the initial 10 names came out, my name was there. I said, oh, good news. Then when the next 6 names came out, my name was removed.
Then
it was
4.
Listen, yes, the final, then no, the 6 before the 4. I was paid initially, but I said, this is the reality of life.
What was it that the committee saw that threw you out of the list?
Let me tell you. It's like you are doing summary. 29 persons who are qualified for elections, for example, you just look for little things that to make one different from the other. And that will be captured within the ambit of the terms of reference.
In your
for
mind,
me,
Prince,
yeah.
Do you think that these people, the 4 people on that list, are better than you?
Oh, the 4?
The 4, the final 4.
They might not be better than me, but I'm from Edo North part of the state. These 4 persons are from Central, they are Sagitation. They are from Edo South, that's the Benin axis. And don't forget that in Edo North presently we have a minister of the federal minister of the Niger Delta, and so the leaders, took into consideration certain variables, certain consideration. If you have a minister from one part and the other is shouting about marginalization or what have you, the expectation will be that okay, let us allow them. So you
look at Senator Monday Okwebolo,
Yeah.
He's a senator. He's a sitting senator. Yes. You have Dennis Idahosa. You have Colonel David Imuse.
You mean the past chairman of the party?
Honorable Lucky Maswai.
Yeah, former deputy governor of the state.
Can any one of these, if they get the ticket or fly the ticket of the party, give the party a good outing?
Of course, if the party wasn't popular, you won't have 29 persons justly for the ticket. It means that the party is popular in the state. That's one. Secondly, the ruling party in the state has barely 3 or 4 aspirants, and so when you see that kind of popularity, you now know how to manage the popularity so that it doesn't even produce rancor.
Does this zoning issue actually is it much of an epic for the APC in terms of who becomes the ticket bearer of the party?
For me, I've spoken on issue of zoning, before now, that Edo State APC is not known to zoning. That's one. 2, the politics of Edo State is skewed in such a way that the demographics dictate the flow, the flow of politics in Edo, than issue of deliberately saying this is zoning.
So the Central still has a upper hand?
No, the Central are the ones that are saying that they should be their turn. And I'm saying that it has to be a product of negotiation, constructive engagement, and collective bargaining. Because in politics, you can't just impose your whims as if it's a sense of entitlement. No.
But people from your senatorial district.
I'm from Edo North.
Yeah. So you have an Adams Oshiomhole.
Yeah, Adams Oshiomhole was a governor. If you look at the demographics in the state, we have 4 governors from Edo South. We have 2 in Edo Central. We have 1 in Edo North. So Adams Oshiomhole has always been the only governor we have produced in Edo North. So if you talk about even marginalization, it's Edo North that should...
But if you talk about rotation, if Adams Oshiomhole from the north and Godwin Obaseki from the south, there are those who will think for rotation's sake, the next governor should come from the central.
I am telling you that these persons who you have mentioned were not products of rotation. Adams Oshiomhole came in 2007 to contest under AC, Action Congress, literally unknown in Edo State. He took it to use his popularity, and he won the election by tribunal in 2008, became a governor. So it wasn't a product of zoning that produced a matter of zoning.
When this has happened, politically speaking, you need to balance it.
No, when you say balancing, if you say balancing, a zone that has 2 governors had 5 ministers at some point, and a zone that had 1 governor and 1 minister at some point, which one should be crying more?
So
I don't know.
Should be crying dilemma more. In Edo State which only God can help you guys resolve.
No, yes, there are no issues. You see, people must learn to be mature with outcome of political engagement, so that you can also, play the role of a role model to others. Because for me, people were asking, they were expecting that I was going to use my head to break coconut for others. And I said, no, this time I am going to abide by the details of what was agreed on, because we subscribe to that committee.
So you have accepted the process?
I have accepted the process.
You are not going to run?
I am not going to run.
Are you going to support anyone?
Anybody who emerges as the candidate, I will support.
Who do you think is out of the 4, who is your best here?
I'm not... issue of choices are known to the
that's
why it is called secret balloting. Even when they are doing primary,
you are doing a direct primary. So it's not secret ballot.
No, when you do a direct primary, you queue up. Let that day come. You see where
a lot of the times it's option A for that.
Whether option A4, whether option A2, whether option anything. What matters is that on that day you will see my preferences. Because my own personal advice is that even out of these 4, they should be able to prune it down to just 1. In the spirit of consensus, so that we save money for the bigger picture of the real electoral contest.
Prince Kasim Afegbua is actually a real prince. He has his stool back in Okwela, although he doesn't sit as much on that stool. I don't know how convenient that stool is. So the beats in his hand are that of the prince. Some of us are royalty. We have the blue, the purple blood in us running. Only that we prefer to do what
I'm
a prince too.
Let me advise other aspirants that only 1 person is expected to emerge as a candidate. And it is better for us to understand that, so that we don't begin to dissipate energy and resources because we feel that we are popular, we want to say. In the final analysis, the main election is the crux of the matter.
Thank you so much. Prince Kasim Afegbua, thank you so much indeed for your time.
It's a pleasure.
Well, you're talking to a prince too.
Yes, Mercy, your looks and your tie. I know that you're royalty.
I could be an heir apparent. You never can tell.
Yes.
So that's our show for tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. God willing. I'm sure Kimale. Enjoy the rest of the day.
You fit not know when your mouth dey smell. Plus, if it be say na nyama dirty for mouth, wey dem dey call bacteria, dey cause am. No let bacteria embarrass you. Use Close-Up, wey get antibacterial zinc. Close-Up, e go help you fight mouth odor wey bacteria dey cause.
This is your moment to discover new heights of pride and passion. A moment to forget the past and to rewrite history. It's your moment. Make it your moment to be moved by every play and to experience every minute of Africa's grandest football showpiece. It's your AFCON moment. Experience all 52 games of the Africa Cup of Nations in HD the way you like it, live on SuperSport and DSTV Stream.
Báwo ni arẹwà? O lè má mọ̀gbà tí èémí ẹnu rẹ̀ ń rùn, ó sì lè jẹ́ bakitéríà ló fà á. Má jẹ́ kí èémí ẹnu rírùn tí bakitéríà ṣe okùnfà yẹ̀yẹ́ rẹ. Lo Close-Up tó ní antibacterial zinc. Close-Up á bá ọ lé èémí ẹnu rírùn bakitéríà lọ.